I'm Robert Townsend. I'm a cardiac arrest survivor, thanks to EMS and the defibrillator program that they have going, and CPR, which the pedestrians or passerbys were doing for me. But anyways, I was at a ball game. The Blue Jays were playing the Yankees. Very good. Blue Jays won, I believe it was 7-2. And I was with my friend Peter. And then as I got walking, I started to feel nausea. So instead of going through the Skyway, which we usually go, I said to Peter, "Oh, let's go along the road, Peter. I don't feel so good."
He got as far as Union Station. He wasn't feeling overly well, and his friend went to get a coffee.
Okay, he goes for a coffee. I said, "I'll stand over here." That is when the lights went out. I have no idea what happened for 2.5 hours. But what people tell me afterwards is the most amazing story I've ever heard.
Next thing that we were told is that Bob collapsed to the ground. By his good fortune, there was an advanced care paramedic from York Region there with her husband, who had been a volunteer firefighter. Her husband saw Bob fall to the ground and said to his wife, "Honey, I think you're going to have to go to work now."
They, as I understand it, performed CPR on me. They contacted the security. He got the ambulance.
The two of them went over, found Bob was vital signs absent, and immediately started CPR. There was many other people that joined in to help. There was a couple of off-duty police officers coming from the same Blue Jay game. They helped with crowd control and CPR. Go Transit, Go Security, they came, and Joanna, the advanced care paramedic, sent them to get their AED. He returned with the AED, and it was applied to Bob's chest. Everybody stood back as it analyzed. Next thing, a shock was delivered. They went back, resumed with CPR, 2 minutes of CPR, and analyzed again.
And they got me going, having trouble keeping it going. So they tried the defibrillator. It got it going, but the heart didn't want to start. Too good, but they managed. And then the ambulance came, and of course, now your professionals are there.
Our paramedics, Toronto paramedics arrived. They started an intravenous, got some cardiac drugs on board, and we had a return of pulse. On the way to the hospital, Bob was talking to our paramedic, Mike Larson, in the back of the ambulance. They went to St. Michael's because they did a 12 lead, and Bob was a STEMI positive. St. Michael's being a STEMI center, they transported directly there, but it was also a close hospital to Union Station. Bob was assessed at St. Michael's, and he was up to the cath lab in no time for where he underwent bypass surgery.
And I was part of what they call a STEMI program. And that, I read and found out later, is amazing. So the key here was to get it done quick. And I was quick. I don't know how long it took, but it wasn't very long before they had me in St. Michael's Hospital. The amazing part is I have about a 1/4-inch cut in my wrist where they went up. And they went in, they removed the blockages, put in the stents. About 2.5 hours after it happened, I come down from the operating room, and they told me I was fine. They told me what had happened. Kind of cute because a few of the doctors were high-fiving. They were pretty happy at what had happened, because I think survival rate, in my case, is pretty low. And if you aren't lucky enough to get attention right away, you're not going home in the car like I did. You're going home another way.
It's a truly amazing story. I met with Bob in his kitchen about a month after the incident. His chest was sore, he had some broken ribs, but he was getting through it, and he was so thankful for everybody that came together that night and helped save his life. As Bob says, he's 75% towards his best before date. Today, we met him again. He looks great. He's doing fabulous.
I like to think I'm the luckiest guy in the world, and here I am now. Christmas with the family. Just doesn't get any better.
You know, when I met with Bob, he didn't know what the AED was all about, so I showed him what an AED is. Toronto EMS oversees over 1,400 AEDs throughout the city. They're at every TTC subway station. They're in community centers, at swimming pools, every hockey arena. You know, we've got them in as many public places as we can, all the civic centers, in some libraries. These things are amazing devices. They're simple to use. You don't need to have training to use them. However, we do recommend training. If you need CPR training, first aid training, please go to Toronto EMS First Aid and come take a course with us. We provide courses throughout the city. They're very inexpensive, and you too could help save a life and help our paramedics save lives. Because the sooner somebody starts CPR and the sooner that an AED is used, the better the person's chance of survival. Doing CPR alone can save a person. A CPR and an AED can increase the chance of somebody's survival up to 75%. So if you need a first aid course, please look us up, Toronto EMS First Aid, and come take a course with us, and soon you could be helping our paramedics save a life.
It was just so amazing, and I'm really happy to talk to you today. And thanks to EMS, I'm here.